They did so many bad things in secret. The previous king and queen, Chimaobi's parents, were not kind like Chimaobi and Adaeze. They were greedy and cruel. They wanted more land and more riches, so they oppressed their people. They took sacred land that belonged to the villagers and used them for their own gain. In a beautiful kingdom called Eziagu, there was a kind king named Chimaobi and a lovely queen named Adaeze. Eziagu was a land of rich heritage and beauty. Tall palm trees swayed gently in the breeze, green fields stretched as far as eyes could see, and rivers sparkled like a diamond under the sun. The people of Eziagu were known for their joy and hard work. They sang songs, danced, and celebrated many colorful festivals. They wore vibrant clothes and made beautiful crafts from the resources around them. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze were beloved by their people. They ruled with wisdom and kindness, always putting the need of their kingdom first. They made sure that everyone in Eziagu had enough food, safe home, and a good life. They would often walk among their people, listening to their stories and helping solve their problems. The people of Eziagu admired their rulers and were grateful for their care. However, despite all the happiness and prosperity in the kingdom, there was one thing that made King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze very sad. They did not have a child. They wanted a baby more than anything in the world. They dreamed of having a little prince or princess who would grow up to be kind and strong just like them. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze tried many things to have a child. They consulted best doctors and healers in the land, who gave them different medicine and treatment. They prayed to the gods and the goddesses, asking for a baby. They made offerings at the sacred shrines, hoping to be blessed with a child. They even traveled to faraway places to find special herbs and potions. But no matter what they tried, they could not have a baby. The king and the queen decided to try everything they could to have a baby. They wanted to make sure they did not miss any chance. They started by performing traditional rituals. Every morning, they would wake up early and pray to the gods. They would light up candles and burn incense, hoping that the smoke would carry the prayers to the heaven. They would sing songs and dance, showing their devotion and asking for blessings. They also made many sacrifices. They offered the best fruits and animals to the gods. They would take these offerings to the sacred shrine and lay them at the feet of the statues of the gods and goddesses. They hoped that these gifts would make the gods happy and that the gods would bless them with a child. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze also consulted various oracles. These were special people who could talk to the spirits and see the future. The oracle would use different tools like cowries, shells, bone, and sacred objects to find answers. The king and the queen visited many oracles in different villages. They listened carefully to their advice and followed their instructions. Some oracles told them to bathe in certain rivers at sunrise. Others told them to eat special foods, and some told them to say special prayers at night. Despite all their efforts, the queen still did not become pregnant. Time passed and King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze began to feel more and more sad. The people in the royal court started to talk about the problem. They wondered why the king and the queen could not have a baby. Some people thought that the gods were angry with them, while others thought there was a curse in the royal family. The kingdom elders, who were very wise and respected, also became worried. They knew that without a child, the future of the kingdom was uncertain. They wanted to make sure that Eziagu would continue to be a strong and happy place for many years to come. The elders spoke to the king and queen and asked them to keep trying to find a solution. They suggested more rituals, more sacrifices, and more visits to oracles. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze felt a lot of pressure. They wanted to make their people happy and ensure the future of the kingdom. But with every passing day, their hope began to fade. They had tried so many things and nothing seems to work. They felt alone in their sadness, even though they had the love and support of their people. The king and queen would often sit together in the palace garden, holding hands and looking at the stars. They would talk about their dreams of having a child and how wonderful it would be to hear the laughter of a little prince or princess in the palace. They would imagine teaching their child how to rule wisely and kindly. But as time went on, this dream seems to be slipping further and further away. The royal couple grew more and more despondent. They found it hard to smile and laugh like they used to be. The weight of their problem was heavy on their hearts. They felt like they were letting their problems down. Even though they were doing their best, they wondered if they would ever find a way to have a baby, or if they would have to accept a future without a child. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze's struggle was a sad story that touches everyone in the kingdom. The people of Eziagu loved their king and their queen and wished they could help them. They prayed for them and hoped that one day the king and the queen would find the happiness they deserved. There was a wise and ancient priestess named Nneka. She was known all over the land for her powerful connection to the spirit world. Nneka had helped many people with her wisdom and magic. The elders believed that she might be able to find out why the king and the queen couldn't have a baby. Nneka was summoned to the palace. When she arrived, she was greeted with a great respect. Everyone hoped she would have the answer they needed. Nneka was very old and had kind eyes. She spoke softly and moved slowly, but everyone could feel her power and wisdom. Nneka told the king and the queen that she would perform a special divination ceremony. This ceremony would help her talk to the spirits of the ancestors and find out what was wrong. She prepared for the ceremony very carefully. She gathered special herbs, sacred objects, and light candles all around the room. The room smelled sweet from the incense she burned. When everyone was ready, Nneka began the ceremony. She chanted ancient words and moved her hands in special ways. She called upon the spirits of the ancestors to come and speak to her. As she did this, she fell into a deep trance. Her eyes closed and she became very still. It was as if she was sleeping, but everyone knew she was communicating with the spirit. In her trance, Nneka saw many things. She saw the past, the present, and the future. She saw the spirits of the ancestors, who had many secrets to tell her. The room was quiet, and everyone watched as Nneka listened to the spirit. After a long time, she opened her eyes. She looked very serious, and everyone knew that she had learned something important. Nneka told the king and the queen that she had spoken with the spirit. They had revealed the reason why they could not have a baby. The king and the queen listened very carefully, knowing that what Nneka had to say would be very important for the future of the kingdom. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze were sitting with Nneka, the wise priestess, who had just performed a powerful divination ceremony. Everyone in the room was quiet, waiting for Nneka to reveal what she had learned from the spirit. Nneka looked very serious as she began to speak. The spirit of ancestors has told me why you cannot have a baby, Nneka said. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze listened carefully. They were nervous but hopeful that they would finally understand what was wrong. Nneka explained that long ago, when King Chimaobi's parents ruled Eziagu, they did so many bad things in secret. The previous king and queen, Chimaobi's parents, were not kind like Chimaobi and Adaeze. They were greedy and cruel. They wanted more land and more riches, so they oppressed their people. They took sacred land that belonged to the villagers and used them for their own gain. These lands were very special and were meant to be respected and protected. The previous king and the queen ignored this and only cared about their own power. The ancestors were very upset by these actions. The spirits watched as the previous king and the queen hurt their people and stole what was not theirs. The villagers suffered greatly under their rule, but they were too afraid to speak out. The king and the queen cruelty continued in secret, hidden from most of the kingdom. Because of this tribal act, the ancestors decided to place a powerful curse on the royal bloodline. This curse was meant to punish the king and the queen for their greed and cruelty. The curse condemned their family to be childless for many generations. The ancestors wanted to ensure that the same evil would not continue through their descendants. When Nneka finished speaking, King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze were shocked. They had no idea that their family carried such a dark secret. They felt sad and angry that the actions of the past were affecting their lives so deeply now. They realized that their struggle to have a baby was not just a personal problem, but a result of the wrongdoings of Chimaobi's parents. King Chimaobi felt a deep sadness for the people who suffered because of his parents. He looked at the Queen Adaeze and saw the worry in her eyes. They both knew that they had to do something to make things right. They could not let the curse continue to hurt their family and their kingdom. Nneka told them that the curse was very strong, but there might be a way to lift it. It would not be easy, and it will require great effort and sacrifice. The king and the queen understood that they had a difficult journey ahead of them, but they were determined to try. They wanted to heal the wound of the past and bring happiness to their kingdom once again. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze were determined to break the curse on their family and bring justice to the people hurt by their parents. They knew it would be a hard journey, but they were ready to do whatever it took. Nneka, the wise priestess, agreed to guide them on the journey of atonement. Nneka told them that they needed to visit the places where the previous king and the queen committed their wrongdoings. These places held painful memories for the spirits and the people. To start, King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze visited the sacred land that were stolen from the villagers. These lands were very special and were meant to be protected. At each site, King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze performed cleansing rituals. Nneka showed them how to purify the land and ask for forgiveness. They brought gifts of fruits, animals, and beautiful handmade crafts. They laid these gifts at the feet of the statues of the gods and the goddesses, hoping to show their sincerity. The king and the queen also met with the villagers whose ancestors were hurt by Chimaobi's parents. They listened to their stories and understood their pain. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze offered reparations to these families. They gave them back the stolen land and offered other gifts to help them rebuild their life. The villagers were grateful for the king and the queen's kindness and began to forgive the royal family. One day, Nneka took them to a river that was once polluted by the previous king and the queen's actions. This river was very important to the villagers as it was provided water for drinking, farming, and fishing. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze performed a special ceremony to cleanse the river. They throwed sacred herbs into the water and prayed for the river spirit to forgive the past wrongdoings. As they continued their journey, King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze felt a deep sense of purpose. They knew that they were not just lifting the curse from themselves but also healing their kingdom. They could see that the people of Eziagu were starting to believe in them again. The villagers began to see the royal couple through kindness and were willing to give them another chance. Everywhere they went, the king and the queen worked hard to make things right. They listened to the villagers, made amends and performed the cleansing rituals with Nneka's guidance. The journey was long and sometimes difficult, but they never gave up. Slowly, the spirits of the ancestors began to feel appeased. The land that was once filled with sorrow started to heal. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze's efforts were beginning to bring hope back to Eziagu. They felt a new sense of closeness to their people and a deep connection to the land and its history. As they finished visiting the last of the sacred sites, King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze returned to the palace. They were tired but also filled with a new strength. They knew they have done everything they could to right the wrongs of the past. They hoped that the ancestors would see their sincerity and leave the curse on their family. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze had worked hard to atone for the wrong of the past. They visited many places and made things right with the villagers. They performed cleansing rituals and offered reparations. Now they faced the final and most challenging task, a journey to the sacred grove of Ani, the earth goddess. Nneka, the wise priestess, told them that the sacred grove was a very special place. It was where the spirits of those wronged by the former king and the queen could be found. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze had to face these spirits, offer sincere apologies, and ask for forgiveness. Only then could the curse be lifted. The journey to the sacred grove was long and difficult. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze traveled through dense forests, crossed wide rivers, and climbed steep hills. They were determined to reach the sacred grove and complete their task. Nneka guided them, showing them the way and keeping their spirits high. When they arrived at the sacred grove, they were filled with shock. The grove was a beautiful and serene place, full of ancient trees and colorful flowers. A gentle breeze whispered through the leaves, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming plants. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze felt a deep sense of peace and respect. In the center of the grove, they saw a circle of stones. This was the place where the spirits would appear. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze stood in the circle, holding hands and feeling the weight of the moment. They knew this was their last chance to make things right. Nneka began the ritual. She chanted sacred words and called upon the spirits of the ancestors. Slowly, the air around them began to shimmer, and the spirits appeared. These were the spirits of those who had been wronged by the former king and the queen. They looked sad and hot, their eyes full of sorrow. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze knelt before the spirits. With sincere hearts, they offered their apologies. They told the spirits how sorry they were for the pain caused by Chimaobi's parents. They explained all the things they had done to make amends and asked for forgiveness. The spirits listened silently. Then, one of the spirits stepped forward. It was an elderly woman with kind eyes. She spoke slowly, but her voice carried a great power. She asked King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze if they truly understood the depth of the hurt caused by their ancestors. She wanted to know if their apologies came from a pure heart. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze looked at each other and then back to the spirit. They spoke honestly about their journey, their struggles, and their deep desire to bring justice and healing to Eziagu. They explained how much they had learned and how sorry they were for the past. The spirit watched them closely, testing their resolve and purity of heart. After what felt like a long time, the elderly spirit nodded. She told them that the spirit could see their sincerity and their effort to right the wrongs. The spirit began to fade, leaving behind a sense of calm and forgiveness. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze felt a weight lift from their hearts. They had faced the final test and shown their true selves. Nneka smiled, knowing that they had succeeded in their quest for redemption. The journey was almost complete, and the curse was ready to be lifted. Nneka, the wise priestess, smiled and told them that the spirits were pleased with their efforts. The king and the queen had shown true courage and kindness. The curse that had been placed on their family was ready to be lifted. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze returned to the palace, feeling hopeful and relieved. They had worked very hard to make things right, and now it was time to see if their efforts would bring the change they so deeply desired. One day, as they were sitting in the palace courtyard, something amazing happened. The sky was clear and blue, but suddenly, a rare and beautiful double rainbow appeared over the palace. The colors were bright and shimmering, filling the sky with a magical light. The people of Eziagu came out of their homes to look at the wonderful sight. They knew it was a sign from the spirit, showing that the curse was broken. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze were filled with joy and hope. They held each other and looked up at the double rainbow, feeling grateful for the miracle. The people of Eziagu cheered and celebrated, knowing that their king and their queen had succeeded in lifting the curse. Not long after the double rainbow appeared, Queen Adaeze began to feel different. She felt a new energy inside her and soon discovered that she was pregnant. She and King Chimaobi were overjoyed. They had wanted a baby for so long, and now their dream was coming true. The news spread quickly through the kingdom. The people of Eziagu were thrilled to hear that their beloved queen was going to have a baby. They celebrated with songs, dance, and feasts. The kingdom was filled with happiness and hope. Months passed, and Queen Adaeze's pregnancy went smoothly. The people of Eziagu eagerly awaited for the arrival of the new baby, who would be the heir to the throne. They prayed for baby's health and happiness. One bright and sunny morning, Queen Adaeze gave birth to a beautiful baby boy. The news spread quickly throughout the kingdom, and everyone rejoiced. The palace was decorated with colorful banners and flowers to celebrate the joyous occasion. The king and the queen looked at their baby with overwhelming love and happiness. They named him Uzoma, which means the good way or the right path in Igbo language. The name symbolized the difficult and the righteous journey they had taken to ensure his birth. Uzoma was a precious gift, a symbol of hope and renewal for the kingdom of Eziagu. As Uzoma grew, he brought even more happiness to the palace and the entire kingdom. He had his father's kind heart and his mother's wisdom. King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze loved him dearly and taught him about justice, kindness, and the importance of respecting others. The story of King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze's journey became a powerful lesson for the people of Eziagu. It taught them about justice, redemption, and about the enduring powers of their ancestors' influence in Igbo culture. The elders shared the story with the younger generations, reminding them of the importance of honesty, courage, and perseverance. Uzoma grew up hearing the story of his parents' bravery and determination. He understood the significance of his name and the journey that led to his birth. He promised to be a good and wise ruler when the time come for him to take the throne. Under King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze's rule, the kingdom of Eziagu flourished. The people lived in peace and harmony, and they knew that their rulers would always put their well-being first. The birth of Prince Uzoma marked a new chapter of prosperity and happiness for Eziagu people. And also, the story of King Chimaobi and Queen Adaeze's journey to break the curse and have a child became a cherished tale in the history of Eziagu. It was a story of love, courage, and the belief that goodness would always triumph over adversity.